This is Hartford Whaler Nation.
And good evening. We're here at Whaler Nation TV. Got a great show for you tonight. We have a special guest, Joe Isaki from he's the vice president of the Hartford Whalers Booster Club, is here with us tonight. The first part of our show is going to be a segment we're going to talk a little about the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Hartford, which is a huge event. The Booster Club has marched in. Joe, how many years has the Booster Club marched in the parade that you know of?
To the best of my knowledge, 6 or 7 years right now.
6 or 7 years, and I've done it the last 5. This is my 5th coming up,
Right.
and I can tell you it's always a blast, as you know.
It is.
Last year we usually we get a decent crowd, but this year we're really looking for a push. We're hoping that people will come down and walk and march with us. And if I'm correct, that you don't have to be a member of the club to
No, you don't.
to join and
just
walk with us.
show up, put your Whaler colors on, and
Right.
join us and have some fun.
Right, and it's we have a good walk through the city of Hartford. I would say the parade route's probably a little over a mile or
About
around
a mile
there.
and a half,
Mile and a half,
approximately. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great route because it starts. We'll be meeting in front of the Capitol as we always do.
Meeting in front of the Capitol, yes. I suggest people arriving approximately between 9 and 9:30.
Right, it's a good time to
just so
arrive.
that you avoid the closing of the streets and
Right,
you
right.
know,
Yeah,
for
'cause-
the parade.
Yeah, you'll have to find because they do close the streets for the parade because I think it's Capitol Ave, Main Street, Asylum, and I think is it Ford Street, the last street? I can't remember what the last street is. It might be Ford Street, but the one that goes through the arch, and then we
Yeah.
walk through the arch. That's the end of the parade. But it's definitely a good time for Whaler fans. We always have a blast. We have a great time. If you ever wanted to feel like a Whalers player, that's what I always say. This is
The
what you-
best
yeah.
part, if
Yeah.
you want to get your adrenaline pumping,
Yeah,
the best part
yeah.
is when you go from Main Street down Asylum
Right,
onto
right.
Trumbull.
Right.
That's probably as close as you're going to feel
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
Whaler game experience.
Yeah, I think for people that may be more skeptical Whaler fans, if you walk this parade route, you will see that you're not alone. That's
yeah.
one thing for sure. You'll definitely know that. There's so many people. I think the last parade attracted around 70,000 people or somewhere around that.
Somewhere around there, yes.
Usually the weather's pretty good.
Yep.
We've had a couple of dices with some rain a couple times, but it's a rain or shine event usually, right?
Actually, no. If it's canceled on the 15th, which the parade is held on this year, the rain date is usually the following Saturday. Which this year, if it's canceled, the rain date would be the 22nd.
22nd. All right. So it's important to remember the parade is on March 15th, 9:30, in front of the state capitol. Will we have a big Whaler sign, or we have a truck this year? or is there anything?
Actually, there's a couple
Yeah.
things. We will be having a vehicle dressed up for St. Patrick's Day, as well as Whalers.
Right.
But we are also in the process of getting a new Whaler Booster Club sign made up. So hopefully, if that's finished in time, we will have that unveiled on St. Patrick's Day.
Is that going to be in support maybe of a new arena or something along those lines? or?
Actually, no.
No. Yeah, we've done that before, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, it would be a great time this year, especially because with all the talk and all the the Whalers being in the news a lot. Connecticut, with the mayor saying, maybe an arena is a when and where question. There's that NHL talk. We have interested groups. So this would be the time to kind of show your support. One of the great things about it is, as I said, when you're walking down that main street and you turn onto Asylum, and you realize how many people are chanting "Let's go Whalers" with you, and it's pretty euphoric. It's amazing. And if you ever wanted to see it, there are some YouTube clips of the parade out there on YouTube if you wanted to search for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And some of us, our tapes are out there to show people
Right.
what it's like when you walk down, that parade route. And the other reason it's very important, I think, is because you get front and center attention in front of the mayor of Hartford,
Right.
the governor of
governor.
Hartford.
Yep.
There's
city council.
The city council's there,
Yep.
and if we have a good turnout, and they see that, we want to make sure that they do see it. The other thing also is you might end up on TV as Channel Fox or 6 covers
61,
the
yeah.
61 covers the parade. I think we might have missed it last year, but they usually have it in front of the Bushnell Towers in the Wadsworth,
Right.
is where Fox is set
Right
up.
on Main Street.
Right, right.
Color
So
of Main and gold.
you're right. So
Yeah.
so that's always a great time because you get a little TV coverage, and it's really not a big commitment because really the parade's probably over for us in about 30 to 40 minutes. We walk the whole thing.
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take,
yeah.
and it's
it
yeah.
seems like a long time, but
Yeah.
it's really very short.
Right. Well, it goes by so quick too because you're having so
Yeah.
much fun.
Oh, yeah.
And you know people interact with you, and I believe 2 years ago when we were coming down Capitol Ave, a guy jumped in and started marching with us, and he happened to be the driver for the Hartford Whalers parade in '87 when they
Yep.
lost to the Canadians in 7 games.
Yep.
They threw a parade, and this guy ran out 2 years ago and said, "I drove the truck." You know,
Yep.
so that was great because you always find so many Whaler fans all over the place.
Yeah, the other thing is too, last year we had a very special guest join us. We had Bob Backlund join us. Coming
That's
down
right,
Asylum Avenue, Bob
Yeah.
Backlund was there.
Yeah, the former WWF champion
Yes,
there.
yes.
He came into the crowd, and we got a shot with him, and he was there. You know, occasionally you do see some local celebrities. Definitely at the parade. I can tell you that every time that I've been to the Capitol at around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, as we prepare to get ready, we always run into Malloy, Blumenthal. This year probably we see Chris Murphy, but usually those guys are around,
Yeah.
and you can actually grab them for a second and say, hey, tell them what you think, tell them you want it, the NHL back, tell them
Right.
that you can have conversations with them, which is kind of neat because you never get that one-on-one with those
Yeah.
guys, and it's a nice day because everybody's enjoying the parade, but it really is something to behold, and I hope we continue to do it every year, no matter what the circumstances, because there's just really nothing like it. It's almost something you kind of have to experience. I remember when I did it, 4 or 5 years ago. I wasn't really know what to expect, but there's no pressure at all. You don't even feel that. You're just walking down the street, and as I said, the response has always been just wonderful. So, but that's great. So having a group. Do you know how many people are showing up this year so far? Have you
Well,
got
last year we had approximately 25 to 30. And each year from year one, it's slowly gotten bigger.
gotten a little bit
so I'm
bigger.
hoping this year it'll be a little bit bigger than last year.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we're working to try to get Pucky to join us,
Yeah.
and hopefully have a few more surprises that we don't know about.
That would be great to see Pucky. It's been a
that's
while.
good.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pucky in a little while, and
Yeah.
I can remember him a couple years ago doing. He would jump into the crowd,
Yep.
almost like a crowd surfing, and
Yeah.
they would catch him. It's just an absolute blast. You just never see so many people in Hartford, and everybody's having a great time.
Yeah.
Usually it's throughout the whole day. After that, I think there's a lot of festivities within the city. The bars have specials, the restaurants have specials, that type of
Right.
thing. So you can make a day of it if you wish,
And-
or you could just come march with us, and you're,
Wear
you're
your
out
Whaler
by
colors,
you're out by-
stand
yeah.
in a crowd. I mean, usually what we do when we come by, we either high five or,
Yeah.
we recognize you in some way.
Right.
So it's not like, we're walking by and, just ignoring you. We, let you know that we
Oh,
see
yeah.
you, we love your support.
Yeah. And we also, we take some pictures and stuff, and we put those, on the Booster Club website. We put some of, on
Facebook.
Twitter. So it's one of those events where you just we have so many pictures, you can't even tell the years apart because everybody's having such a good time.
Oh, yeah.
But, and another thing is, people are always concerned about parking and travel. If you happen to live within the Connecticut transit routes, I do this personally, is to take the bus in. Then you don't have to worry about parking, gas, trying to find, or anything else with your car. And it's only $1.50 a ride. So for $3, I'm in, marching in the parade, and I get to go home, and that's all taken care of. So it's an inexpensive way to get into the city if you can get on one of those transit routes.
Yeah.
That's also not a bad idea because
The other thing too is if you're coming in and you're early, you want to park, you can park at the state office building on a corner of Capitol Avenue and Buckingham Street. I says, that's free parking right there. The only thing is, if it's a long parade, you might have to take a few back roads to get out, but it's close right near the Capitol to walk.
Right.
So,
Yeah. It's just a great event. So if you're a Whaler fan and you've been thinking about this, or this is the first time you've heard of this, please feel free, if you'd like to come down and join the club. You do not need to be a member of the club to join. And of course, if you'd like to join the club, that's also fine too. It's an open membership, and
it's only $10 for a whole year,
Right.
from September to August.
Right.
And if there's any trips or anything, you get notices on that
Right,
through our
right.
website,
Right.
whalerwatch.com.
Right. Right.
So you can go on there for other information, as well as meetings are also posted on our website too.
That's true. That's true. And it's also true that you do not just the St. Patrick's Day parade, but there's the Park Road Parade.
Park Road Parade,
which
we
is
did,
in
yes.
beginning of October.
Right.
And then there's the Shad Derby Parade
That's going to be in May.
in May.
Yep.
So there's a couple other parades we do,
Yep.
but the St. Patrick's Day is the
It's the
crown
biggie,
jewel.
yes. It's the big event of the year.
Yeah. Just because the amount of people and how much fun it really is, and it really is a good time. I can even think of people that weren't diehard Whaler fans or didn't see the Whalers, and they go through the parade and
Yep.
they're like, that's just a fun experience. It's a really good time, and it's really great. So. We really appreciate you coming out here to spend a couple minutes to talk with us about the parade. As I said, we're coming up. We're about 40 days away.
Yeah.
So it's getting close. It's
Yeah, it
getting
is.
close. You do most of the planning for the parade throughout the year. So
Yeah.
you're about all set for this one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, sounds
Got
good.
all the T's crossed, the I's dotted, and everything else. So
All right, that's great.
we're ready for it.
That sounds good. So we're going to have another segment coming up where we're going to talk a little bit about the Danbury Whalers and talk a little bit about what's been going on in the news. But we do want to thank Joe for coming out here, especially on a snowy night tonight it is. So
Okay.
thank you very much.
I just want to add one more thing.
Sure.
April 13th, a Sunday. Don't forget, we have our anniversary. This year it's going to be held at the Arch Street Tavern, beginning at 1 o'clock till whenever the last person comes.
Sounds great.
So
Yeah.
stop down and have some fun and have something to eat. Join us for some whaler talk.
Right. This will be the 17th anniversary. So there's one usually
Yes.
every year. So
Yep.
that's always a good time too. But thank you very much for coming down, and we
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
the Booster Club coming and letting us know a little bit more about the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Whaler Nation TV. That was a great first section with Joe.
Joe's a very nice
Joe-
guy. He'd been organizing the parade, doing a great job with it, and like I said, you've been there.
Oh, yeah, it's
as a
been
matter of
great.
fact, yeah, you were one of the guys that told me to go. So absolutely a good time to be
It's,
there.
when you, like you said, and you guys alluded to it, when you walk down Asylum by the bar section, it is just amazing. Just when you think that the logo's gone, the team's gone, everything's gone, then all of a sudden you walk down on Asylum Ave and you see Whalers jerseys. You see people high-fiving, like Joe
Right,
said,
right.
and they yell out and they start chanting, "Let's go Whalers!"
Right.
And it's kind of like, and we believe this too, that they're just simply on a vacation, and pretty soon they're coming back, and,
Right.
and everything will be okay again. When you see the passion that still exists in Hartford, and this is what our legislators, Governor Malloy, Mayor Segarro, they have to realize that the passion's there, and obviously the logo's still selling, the name's out there. The Brass Bonanza's played in all the stadiums, and you saw that article the other day about it being the #2 sports theme out there in all of sports.
Yeah.
Everyone plays the Brass Bonanza.
Yeah.
Quinnipiac plays it at their games.
Yep.
It's
at
everywhere.
Fenway, yeah.
My niece dances to it now.
Yeah, that's
She's 1.5
true,
years
that's true.
old, and my niece Gracie dances to the Whalers song.
Yeah.
When the lottery commercial comes on.
Oh,
I
that's
think
true.
it's
Yeah,
absolutely
that's right. It's on the
hilarious.
lottery. That's right. Yeah, it is. It's so many places, and of course we usually have that blasting in their vehicle as we do the walk.
Oh,
but
yeah.
another thing I wanted to bring out, and I forgot to mention this when Joe was here, was we're walking down the street and you're wearing a Whalers jersey, you're wearing Whaler colors, and then there's a guy screaming. He's wearing a Whaler jersey and then he jumps in and he's walking along with you. I mean,
And
it's you
he
see
took
so
the
many
flag.
people. Yeah,
Remember that guy?
Yeah, that guy
He took the
the
flag.
the guy took the flag and he
And
started
that
marching.
guy,
Yeah.
you remember that guy?
Yeah, just when I said it. Yeah.
That guy he said to me as he was walking, I was the guy driving the Toyota pickup truck
Right.
in the parade when the
Yeah,
Whalers
yeah.
lost to Montreal.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I thought that was great. This is a
Yeah.
guy who really believes in the Whalers still to this day. He was part of a celebration for a team that lost in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And everyone in Hartford came out for it.
Yeah,
And those
yeah.
pictures, I was able to find some pictures from that parade.
Right.
Remember, we were looking at it the other night.
Yeah.
We're going to put them up on Twitter and Facebook, and that's going to be
Right,
great.
right,
You to relive that 86-87
Right,
season
right.
where the people of Hartford came out.
Yeah, one year we did a thing where we would take a picture of anyone that had a Whaler gear in the crowd, and boy, we almost ran out of film. I mean,
Yeah.
because everyone was wearing it because it's St. Patrick's Day. So what's nice to have a Whaler green jersey.
Exactly, it
But
fits.
but people, they still have them and they still fit. So that's one of the great things. The parade's great. As Joe mentioned, the Faniversary is always a good time too.
Yep.
On April 13th, and then they have a couple other parades that they march in. So they're at least out there, so that these things are if you're a Whaler fan, you want to hang out with some other Whaler fans. There's some other things that you can do.
Exactly, and the other thing is that we hope that through all the talk of the XL Center being rebuilt, Governor Malloy said it at the St. Patrick's Day fundraiser the other day, they are building a new XL Center.
Right.
The real question is where and when is it going to happen?
Right.
Do we have to wait the 10 years?
Yeah.
Millions of dollars put into a failing facility. Sorry, me as a taxpayer, put it towards a new facility.
Yeah.
Hartford's a major league city. It attracts UConn, sells out the arena. Just put it towards a new one. It's not like it's not going to be used.
Right.
And the restaurants and bars downtown need that. They need it to survive.
They do, yeah.
And we can allude to, hey, we're going to be at Salute.
Right.
Whaler Nation TV is going out to the streets of Hartford. We're going to be doing a live show at Salute Restaurant, which is on Trumbull Street in Hartford.
That's right.
Jim Cosgrove, the manager, great guy, worked at Chuck's Steakhouse.
Right.
Has some great stories about the Whalers partying in there, and after they beat Quebec in that series, stayed up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning, he said, and finally was able to get rid of them after a hard night of celebrating.
Right.
So that's something to look at. We're looking at Vaughn's Public House. We're also looking at some other places in the downtown area that support Whaler hockey.
Yeah.
It's been very receptive.
We've had no trouble at all. As a matter of fact, when you walk into these restaurants, you're not sure if the owner remembers the Whalers, or maybe he wasn't here at the time. But yeah, the responses are all positive, and for a couple guys that want to put up a TV show, seems like everybody will take us. So I don't know how strong this Whaler brand is, but boy, there's something in the water.
When we first started, though, we both had the face for radio. So obviously they enjoy watching the show, and people have watched the show, and we thank you for watching the show. And Nutmeg has been wonderful place to do the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
John Anderson behind the curtain over there. John, how you doing? He's done a great job producing two guys on camera. But back to Whaler talk, and what are you hearing about Danbury? There's some things in the news.
There's unfortunately Danbury. We were contacted by Herm Sorcher, who's part owner, general manager of the team. He's a very upfront guy. He's when you go there as a Whaler fan or as a fan of the team, he makes you feel like you're one of the only fans there.
It's like welcoming into his house.
Yeah. He really makes it special for you. But unfortunately, they've been debating and having some conversations with the city of Danbury, and apparently there's 4 police officers and 2 fire marshals at every game, and it's costing them about $1,400 a game, which is just for a Federal Hockey League team. It's just a tremendous expense to do every time. So they're hoping to reduce it to $600 and just have 2 police officers and 1 fire marshal. It sounds a little bit reasonable. I'm not technical on it. I don't know. It depends, I guess, on the city's laws and what they require. But I don't even think that many are at the XL Center, to be honest. That many police officers.
Oh yeah.
Is there that many?
Yeah, they pay a lot of money in police coverage and fire marshals, obviously, because you're having upwards of anywhere from, and the other night was 10,000 people.
Right. Well, that'd be different. Yeah.
But I think when you look at what the Danbury Whalers bring to Danbury, downtown Danbury, again, we get into the bars, the restaurants, and what you're supporting the downtown Chamber of Commerce and everything. So I hope that the board votes in favor of kind of scaling back a bit.
Yeah.
But again, it is public safety, so it's going to be tough.
And I understand the city's point of view, and I don't want to make it look like they're the bad guy in this or anything like that. But I think that when you think about teams leaving, and I actually wrote about this at Examiner.com. You don't want your hockey to end up like it is in New Haven, where there isn't a professional hockey team anymore, and they just erase the building from existence.
Absolutely.
And it's not that New Haven's dying without hockey, but those people that do watch hockey that live in New Haven, they're heading out of town. They're going to Danbury. They're going to Quinnipiac.
Yeah.
Some of them drive to Danbury. The Danbury Whalers won the Commissioner's Cup last year, and they outdraw any other team within their league. They brought 165,000 fans down to Danbury. They've had a $21 million impact on the economy in Danbury. It just, to me, it seems like a no-brainer to figure out. Something has to come to
to alleviate some of that that burden. And we have to remind everyone, Herm Sorcher is a Hartford Whaler alumni. He worked with the Hartford Whalers.
Yes.
And he's a a true bleed green guy too,
Yeah.
because he's been on our show,
Right.
and he's just a down to earth guy. So
Right,
you know,
right.
whatever support you can put out there to the Danbury
right.
Whalers, go
Yeah.
see a game. It's good hockey. It's a good time
Right, right.
at a very fair price.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe that the town mayor's received over 100 emails from fans so far. You know, the Booster Club is going to a council meeting tomorrow night, I believe.
Okay.
To show support for the Danbury Whalers. You know, we're also letting them know that you know, the Danbury area know that, you know, there's a lot of people that come from other parts of Connecticut to come see the Danbury Whalers, because they have that. They have brass bands behind goals. They have several Danbury Whaler jerseys that are you know, based off the old Whalers jerseys.
Yes, the colors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just great. And that Federal Hockey League is rough, tough stuff.
Oh,
you
it
know,
is.
Those,
It's
those
old-time
guys aren't
hockey.
afraid to shed the gloves. You
They
know,
wanna
There's
be
not-
noticed.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. They have to, you know. So, but it's definitely fun. And like I said, they won the whole thing last year, and it'd just be a shame to see another hockey team, no matter what league, you know, have to leave or close.
Well,
because of
especially
that.
the
Yeah.
Whalers.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
lose the Whalers again.
Well, yeah,
You know,
you know.
we lost them once. Now
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
another Whalers
yeah,
team that could
yeah.
be on the brink of leaving because of some financial problems.
Right, right.
You know,
Yeah.
with the protection.
Yeah, so we're really hoping that that doesn't happen and they get something worked out. But you know, they do appreciate your support. So you can also check them out if you're interested on you know, DanburyWhalers.com. They have a website, you know, which is a really nice website with a lot of pictures, so you can get a look at the arena. The arena is very small. You know, it only holds a couple thousand people.
But it's intimate. It's nice. You're
it's-
right
it
in the
is.
game the whole
It's
time.
loud too, very
Yep,
loud.
Yep. And they
Yeah.
have the food's good. And
Yeah.
again, very fairly priced.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. You're not gonna break the bank down there.
And you know, we did go there for a game once, and I remember going downtown and eating at the restaurants
Mm-hmm.
there. The players eat at the restaurants there. I mean, you just would hate to kind of lose that in your city.
It's a close-knit community.
It is, and they've also had, you know, Danbury Whalers have made several, you know, public appearances
Mm-hmm.
for charities, and you know, it's just, I hate to see those things leave a city, no matter what city it is, you know.
Yeah, it
in
is.
general.
It's, you know, when
Yeah.
you look at, you know, what a hockey team, and we see it now with the Wolfpack, the Connecticut Whale, the Whalers when they were here. Yes, it's all about the charities. It's about the fundraising, and you know, it's about the what can they bring to your community, and all of these teams bring a special. Whether it's some money, whether it's just reaching out to, you know, the kids in the hospital,
Right.
it's very important that they are recognized in the community, and they
Right.
are. I mean, the Wolfpack players go out there, and the foundation the other night
Right.
they had the raffle with the jerseys.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, you know, it's good that they keep up that, and they are just as important as all of us, you know,
Sure.
as members of the community. So.
Yeah, yeah. Herm is very special in terms of the Whalers, because you know, he did work for the Whalers, as you said, and then I believe he went to Wisconsin or some northern state,
Yep.
where he worked in I think it was AAA or AA baseball for a while. Did that. And had some yearning to come back to Connecticut and bring a Whalers.
He's actually
team.
part owner of the
Yeah.
team.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
He is part owner of the team. Like I said, you know, I think he had that vision, or he had that passion for the Whaler logo. It made the team almost. I mean, they're almost like when you see the old green jerseys, they got the
Yep.
green pants, the
Oh,
green
yeah.
socks.
Yep.
I mean, they really do it up. And I think somewhere in the mid-season they switched their jerseys. So for one part of the season they wear this color, and then one part they wear. But it's
Yeah.
another Whalers jersey.
Yeah, it's a
I
white.
think it's more like the dark blue they wear
Yeah,
on the
yep,
road. I think.
yep.
And there's only a couple teams in the Federal Hockey League, but it's good to keep that. You know, keep those leagues going, keep players in there. It's actually an affiliate of the Flyers on a very low level.
Oh, really?
Yeah, any players that, I think it's Trenton is the Flyer ECHL affiliate, and if they happen to run short on players, they'll call Danbury.
Oh,
So there's
bring 'em
even a
up.
career path for the NHL for those players. So, you know, they really do put a good effort in, and as I said, some of those guys are really rock'em sock'em robots. So,
They really
yeah,
are.
Yeah, and it's a great league and a lot of fun, definitely down there. Yeah, yeah.
Well, when we go back to, you know, March 15th is the St. Patty's Day Parade.
Very important.
Just as a
Yeah.
recap, we have a couple minutes left here. What sticks out for you when you get there? You know, we all get there. You have a little Irish coffee, of course,
Yeah.
you know, to warm up, depending how
Absolutely.
chilly it is.
Yeah, it
or
depends on the
damp.
weather. Yeah.
What sticks out when you walk in the parade?
You know, the two things that stick out to me, and I'll never forget this because you know that the parade's going to be loud and there's going to be a lot of Whaler fans, and it's going to, you know, you're going to feel great about that. But it's also that you know, we park directly in front as we wait to join the parade. We're directly in front of the Capitol, so everyone comes in and out of there. And there's Malloy, there's Blumenthal, there, you know, anybody you can talk, and
All the news people?
all the news people. I mean, so if you ever wanted to get a message out to one of those guys, or you wanted to just chit chat with them for a minute, or you know, a quick second, they're right there. They're accessible. They always say hello to us. Our president always has a couple of words with them that
Sure.
say,
Yep.
bring back the Whalers. But that's the first thing that always sticks in my mind because that's the first thing in the morning. But then there's just nothing better than walking down Asylum.
Oh,
You
yeah.
feel like the team's coming back now. It might even give you a feeling like, and you were there, like the '87 parade, where
It
everyone's
was.
everyone's on the same vibe and everyone's happy. And,
Yeah, it's weird because you start in the beginning and then you go all the way down, and it almost like slowly builds.
Yeah.
When you go down Capitol Ave, you take the left onto Main Street,
Right.
and then you get down and you take the left onto Asylum,
You're right.
and you can feel it. You
Yeah.
can feel the pressure.
Oh, it's
you
loud.
You can feel people. You see
Yeah.
the little kids. Pucky was out there the
That's
last
right.
time with us because
Yeah.
it was the Connecticut Whale.
Yeah.
And when you sit there and you see these people, and yeah, there are a lot of college students, but you have people our age, and then you have older people who
Right.
maybe were season ticket holders for
Right.
Whalers,
Yeah.
and they're out there.
Yeah.
And everyone loves a parade, but
Yeah.
then you have the song going,
Right.
and really, when you get down to Black Eyed Sally's,
Yeah.
and you're down
Oh,
there,
yeah.
and oh man, it's loud, and it's so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah.
And then you turn the corner to the arch where the viewing stand is,
Right.
and it's nice. And people, yeah, Whalers.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
they really do a great job
They do.
with the parade. The organization is always great.
Yeah, it is.
And the
It
city
is.
of Hartford and
Yeah.
the St. Patrick's Day Committee should be complimented on a seamless, as far as we can see,
Sure,
a seamless presentation of
Yeah.
the St. Patrick's
And
Day
and
Parade.
it's just if you're just a regular guy, it's really just to show up and walk.
It really
and
is.
wear green.
Mhm.
Wear Whaler green, and it's really that simple. But it's just something that it's almost like it was on my bucket list, and I'm glad, and I keep doing it because it's still on my bucket list.
And
as
the
far as I'm
Hartford Whalers
concerned,
Booster
you
Club
know? Yeah.
wants everyone to march.
Right.
So show up 9:30 in front of the Capitol, and you'll be able to march with the Hartford Whalers Booster Club.
Right.
And like Joe said, he's been doing it 7 years.
Yeah.
Alan, Diane, Victor have been out there
Yeah, also with the
beating
club.
the drum, and they've really done a nice job. Johnny Vaughn from Vaughn's Public House was the winner of the Grand Marshal last year.
I'm
Yep.
not sure who they've now set this year. But
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
see any announcement. But it's about Hartford pride. It's about Hartford and getting on the map again.
Right.
Hartford is a major league city, and of course, the Whalers would only make it a major league city all over again.
That's right.
Until next time, remember, we are one nation under green. Thank you for joining us on Whaler Nation TV. So,